We are here inside Winkle's house. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So hopefully it's recording now. Phalian frock coat. It's light armor. It's 3. This outfit consists of a blouse, trousers, and a voluminous coat of surprising quality. While elegant, it also serves as practical outerwear. Bathing hat. Deer winds are known for their modest rustic hats, while Phalians are associated with broad-brimmed hats, featuring a variety of exotic plumes. I like this hat on her. Shoti. Okay, that's here. This chart appears to outline some kind of mining operation. Numbers in a nearby ledger seem to allude to volume, though of precisely what isn't clear.
Can I try your mask on?
The enigmatic god of gold. The enigmatic god of gold. Young students are often confused by Beret and Rimgrand's seemingly overlapping roles in holding dominion over death. God of death, cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability. Keeper of the cycle of life and death. Beret is thought to seek to claim the lives of those who have lived past their time. According to folklore, Beret is seen most often in the form of the Pallid Knight or the Usher. Two skeletal characters who lead such people to their deaths by way of challenge or trickery. We met him at the beginning of the game. Rimgrand, god of entropy, cold, winter, bad luck, famine, and natural disasters, manifests as a giant albino aurochs moving amidst a great blizzard, and the plodding footsteps of Rimgrand come death and disintegration. Beret oversees the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Rimgrand oversees the cold, destructive act of death itself. This difference is often difficult for novices to appreciate until they've lost a loved one and endured the absence for a time. It is Beret that determines. We will be reborn just as certainly as we will die, but Rimgrand is the executioner's axe. Rimgrand shows us that all life ends in stillness. I need only show them the symbol of Rimgrand, the bone. The bone-white auroch skull found carved within the most ancient of ancient ruins. It is a symbol of death and doom in every culture. Any child with 4 winters under his belt needs no introduction to the ancient symbol. Rimgrand embodies not just death, but all manifestations of collapse, be they famine, plague, or simple bad luck. Rimgrand is a primal god, silent and inscrutable, as death itself. He makes himself known with his passing, not by proclamation. There are innumerable stories of the god's terrifying passage through the lands of Aora. When the beast of winter stirs, bitter winds and beastly howling follow the creature's every move. Beast of winter is the avatar and most primal expression of the god of Rimgrand, which takes the form of a massive, upright standing aurochs, in keeping with Rimgrand's portfolio of death as a destructive and final ending. The beast is synonymous with merciless execution. It symbolizes sorrow and the inevitable stillness at the end of all things. Inevitability seems to be the only thing the beast actively cares about, where any effort to stifle or delay one's destruction is seen as prey to be chased down and beaten under the beast's frozen hooves. Wherever the beast plants a hoof, all life withers into dust. The faithful of Rimgrant insist that even another god's life can end in stillness. They claim the other gods must flee from the beast of winter's mastery over death. But we know not if this boast holds true. Though the beast of winter is shrouded in snowy clouds, as we are seeing the shaggy white monster claim that the souls of the fallen can be seen clinging, or perhaps frozen to the beast's fur. The dwarves of the boreal south have numerous stories that tell a similar plot. A brash hero seeks out the beast of winter to rescue the souls trapped in its fur. These tales never end well, for even if the hero saves his beloved soul, the hero dies in the process, for it is not a proper tale of Rimgrand unless the hero's life ends in stillness. Oh boy. Here comes out part 1, early contact. Animancy in the modern age. Animancy is both a science both respected and reviled, sometimes by the same person. For all the research done on the topic, we still know so little. Control over life itself, something animancers have been working toward for hundreds of years. There are no real records of how the practice of animancy was first discovered, but once the spark of knowledge ignited, there was no stopping its inevitable discoveries. 2260 AI. Animancers, as a result of their extensive research, successfully contained and transferred a soul. The subject of the experiment, whose name is unknown, was young and wealthy, but infirm. The idea was to move his soul from a dying body and into that of a recently deceased man who had suffered an accident. The new body, bearing only slight decay, would house the soul, giving the man a much better life. The outcome of this experiment resulted in the condemnation and outlaw of animals in the Adrian Empire, Adiron Empire, a nation that resulted from the merger of a human kingdom and an elf kingdom 400 years ago, ruled by a Fetacommune first king, or Necklin, illustrious queen. Both Deerwood and Redesaris originated as colonies of Ader. Again, while we have no true record of what happened, as they were all destroyed after animancy was outlawed, a journal was discovered, a makeshift confession by one of the participants. Excerpts from that journal follow. 2268 Font Prima 16. It is done, and the gods forgive us for our arrogance. I am not sure what I was expecting, certainly not that. But what did any of us expect? Still, behind the revulsion there is a sense of pride, something I can't deny. All the research, the studying, everything we worked for, we thought it would change the world. How it's changed. All was in place, the twisted foam lying on the table next to its new vessel. The equipment had been prepared. The tinctures and potions all carefully crafted, every detail painstakingly organized to ensure success. Most assuredly succeeded. The procedure went exactly as it should. The soul, extracted from the old body, held bound in place to prevent it from moving on. The next step, transfer to the fresh vessel. It was beautiful and terrifying. I listened as they spoke the words of binding. I watched the soul move, not the soul itself, of course, but the vapor we used to detect it. I let lowered into the vessel. A gentle luminescence covered the body, and then nothing. Silence, darkness. I held my breath, afraid that even the slightest disturbance would destroy all our hard work. Then motion. Then, dear gods, then. God. How did I survive? I do not know. The vessel was slammed, and the room breathed. Every person crowded around the table exhaled. Some cheered. We had made life from death. We had become eternal. The body closed its eyes and tilted its head, looking for all purposes to be listening for something. Then its eyes popped open and it moved. Its lip peeled back from its teeth in a horrible expression of fury. It fell with the nearest hand, tearing his throat to the ground. Then the room erupted into screams, shouts, and a flurry of bodies flying, pushing, doing everything in their power to get away from the creature sitting on their colleague. But right before that happened, in the split second before the chaos, when there was nothing in the air but a stunned, terrifying silence, I heard it sitting there on his chest, face at his neck, and it was feasting. Oh God. Ir Glanfad The history of Ir Glanfad before it was discovered by Adrian Explorer is poorly documented, and all accounts of them conflict. Territory comprised of the forest southeast of the Bale River, popular indigenous people with loosely affiliated tribes, collectively known as Glanfadans, and governed by a council of the 6 most powerful tribes. Ir Glanfad is home to a large number of ruined Nguithen sites, which Glanfadans hold sacred. The ruins have been at the center of a number of large-scale conflicts with deer-rooting colonists, whose settlements often emerge on Glanfadan territory, and who frequently seek to come deliverance for their relics. Some tell stories of an advanced civilization that left, taking all its knowledge with it, leaving ruins of their civilization behind. Others say that Glanfadans themselves developed such power and technology that they all but destroyed themselves. That is why they will not allow anyone into the ruins on their land. Either way, reliable information about the area of Ir Glanfad doesn't begin until Adrian Explorers discovered it, 2602 AI. Glanfadans were not used to encounters with outsiders before, and viewed the intrusion on their land as something of a test. The ruins that covered their land were considered sacred, and these strangers, despite warnings, plundered them, taking artifacts. Glanfadans that rested were captured and forced into slavery, becoming property of the new colonists. Their people, heritage, and land at stake, the Glanfadans struck back, hoping to drive them out of their lands permanently. Despite their best efforts, more Adrian invaders appeared. By 2623 AI, the Adrians had established towns, pushing the Glanfadans out of some and enslaving any who refused to leave. They tried to live in peace, keeping an eye on the Adrians, and with the exception of a few isolated incidents, it seemed to work. This tentative peace came to a bloody end in 2626 AI. A group of farmers clearing a potential crop field in the middle of an area dotted with many sacred ruins knocked down one of the ancient menhirs. Whether this was intentional or accidental is unknown. This incident started what became known as the Broken Stone. It was short, lasting less than a year, but was bloody and brutal. Several thousand Adrian colonists died, as well as hundreds of Glanfadans. Though the war ended, the attacks on the Adrians didn't stop, and Orlon named Reged was chosen as Galvin of the Glanfadans. He vowed to make every outsider pay for the injustices done on his people's land. He organized the Glanfadan Fangs and orchestrated a series of attacks over the course of the next 2 years. It seemed Reg's tactics would eventually work and drive the Adrians from Glanfad. But then they started fighting back. They became far more organized and their tactics less predictable. Fewer and fewer of Reg's attacks succeeded. He discovered a new Griff. Edrang Hadret had been appointed. Someone whose tactics and battle style were more evenly matched with his. Eventually both leaders came to a stalemate, neither able to gain the upper hand on the other. As a result of the stalemate, the hostilities between the two groups dwindled, as there was never a significant result for either side. This led to treaties, developed and signed by both, to eliminate the violence and tension. Reged stepped down as Calvin and returned to his life. Adrit set a decree. Looting the ruins of Glanfad is an arrestable offense. Edrang Hadret. As a sign of goodwill, Hadri also tried to outlaw slavery, but this act was struck down by the other earls and Farkoning of Ader. Because of this, some incidents of rural violence still cropped up. Hadri's treaties resulted in 20 years of relative peace for the Glanfagans, still worried and distrustful of the Adrians, but willing to accept their presence if they had to. We also get the short end of the stick in this universe and the Witcher universe. So here. Ships, plus 15 action speed. Okay. Okay. Let's go in here.
Will do.
Of course.
Who's there? Keep it down.
Real quiet now.
Alchemists utilize knowledge of the mundane world to manufacture gunpowder. Ambitious practitioners of magic have created an alternative. Ruin powder, crafted through a process similar to the techniques used to make grimoires, burns hotter and faster than black powder. It is easier to ignite, making it more reliable, especially in inclement weather. For these reasons, it is exceedingly valuable both to soldiers and sailors, and must often fire their weapons in the wet and cold. Peridot. I feel like I've seen this in the previous game. Found almost exclusively in a pale green color, Peridot is a glassy stone that is easy to find, but difficult to find in specimens of gem-welding quality.
On it.
I don't know that crap. Quick save.
Tori, is that you? Wait,
Rinko.
who are you?
The figure in the bed is a young Thalian man. The first thing you notice is that he seems to have been severely beaten. One eye is nearly swollen shut, and where his skin is revealed, it is a patchwork of livid bruises. Okay, continue. He groans and winces as he props himself up, glaring up at you with one good eye.
You look like you already got a foot in the grave.
She thumbs the cage of her lantern thoughtfully.
What is this? Why is one of the godlike in my house?
Good Lord, Shirley. You are a trigger-happy girl. So you got that cowboy hat. Oh, excuse me about burp. That's why you got that cowboy hat on. See, you and that lantern. Good God, I was trying to get some souls ready. Calm down, cowgirl. I'm just looking around. Ouch, my shiner. What happened to you?
These Juana. They are an unreasonable people. I was enjoying a night of cards when one of them attacked me, out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, eh? They'll want to decentralize the Juana, to commonly steeped in mythology, value student mythology, a sense of guardianship over the isles they call home. Continue.
I had not spoken a word to her, the mad devil.
The Stormbringer?
Look what she did to me.
I can't
My
help.
ear.
Can't help you. Turns his head, and you see that there is a scab over notch where a chunk of flesh has been torn away from his lips.
When the fighting is over, she takes my coin purse and strides away, bold as anything.
That's awful. So you lost a bar fight. No need to whine about it. Yeah, you should always ditch the jewelry before a fight. Were you cheating or something?
I was deep into my cups. It was not a fair contest to begin with. The governor lets the Juana do as they please, and this is the result. I should be out there, helping to find our people. My wife, Zenetta, she is out there, and I...
Ooh, she is out there with that statue walking. She's dead, buddy. She is dead. He gestures feebly with an arm grimacing. Continue.
Listen, I am without other means. She took my coin purse, my wages. How am I to pay the governor? How am I to feed my son?
Give me some money, buddy. I'll give you some money. I'm a lesser the Lord of Caed Nua. His already bruised purple face reddens further.
That woman should be in the stocks. The guards do nothing. But you've heard me out at least. Do me the kindness of retrieving that coin purse, and I will give you what I can spare.
Maybe I can reason with this one. Where should I start?
They call her Mokeha. I imagine she's back in her village, feeling proud of herself, no doubt. Follow the road as it bends north. Then west. You can't miss it. A pile of sticks and straw.
It's probably that village up ahead. With that, he sats back against the mattress, clearly exhausted. Burning bridges find him.
Yeah?
Okay, we are outside now. The only place we have left to visit is this inn upper floor. Before we go to the Awama village or Huana village to look at that lady. Then we'll perhaps go to the... Actually, no, we want to explore Croce Street a little bit more. And then go to the Huana village and then the eastern part of the island. Sounds like a plan. Ooh, let's see what we have here. We got two individuals sitting, having a drink. We have someone standing in the back. Okay. Ooh, interesting music. Is she depressed? Do they know the story behind the Kraken's eye? Do you know? No, I don't. Right.
Not happening.
Okay then. Fort March Guard. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of us stranded on the stage. Steal this. The Storm Stars think everything is Aeolatus is doing, as if he troubled himself. Well, best you guess you don't know. Was it an anger? You God send you many omens.
Crew's getting antsy.
Maybe we cut them loose. We're not leaving anytime soon.
Almira protects you. I don't know. Is that a singer? Do you know what's been behind Kraken's eye? You just see the giant. Last thing we need is a monster like that with a Indeed, yeah. Wish. The kitchen back here. Cook. Nothing to say, buddy. Servant, nothing to say.
Sorry, we haven't any rooms for you.
The large man, the rather large man behind the counter glances your way, smiling grimly.
Guessing you're the one came in off that shipwreck down south. Not sure if that's good luck or bad, but here, I figure you deserve a drink.
Thank you. He slides a murky pint of ale across the counter towards you. You've gained an item, ale. This item's good. How can you tell?
On account of you haven't got a gaggle of children trailing after you to ask impolite questions, means word hasn't got around.
What's this about the remaining chance you saw the fight between Rinko and Mokeha?
Mokeho? That'll be the Juana the poor fool got into a dust-up with, I expect. Yeah, I saw it. Made a real mess, they did. The two of them were having a game of cards, far as I could see. Guess things between them soured in a hurry. I kicked the Juana out, had a few men carry what was left of Rinko home. Well, yeah. Think maybe Rinko wasn't expecting one of the Juana to know the game so well. He looked real nervous by the end.
Do you know Ringo?
Well, no more than most. He's a hard man to like, let's say. Came here with the wife, an animancer, one of Odorisi's lot. The governor could tell you more there.
So, wife carries pains, I guess. Do you know who started it?
Could have been anything. Rinko doesn't know when to quit talking, and some of those Juana are real serious types. As far as I'm concerned, we owe the Storm Speaker for keeping the town in one piece. Don't mean I'd invite her people over for tea.
That's all the questions I had. That's all the questions I had.
Sure. Just hope you don't mean to dredge anything up again. Leave the feuding for the Blue Blood.
I will. Thank you. Appreciate your help. Let's see what else. What else can I ask you? I call it the Kraken's Eye.
What else? It was the glory of my fighting years. The beast pulled nearly 7 full crews into its belly before it was brought down. I was at the helm that day, and for that, my captain gifted me one of the beast's eyes.
Or else eyes glitter with pride if he points to the wall just to the right of the counter. Okay, mate. Okay. Calm down. Calm down.
My proudest moment and my dearest treasure. I would not part with it for all the world.
What can you tell me about Port Maje?
Guess you haven't exactly seen the prettier side of the place since you landed, right? It's the only town on the island, if you don't count Sarahuzi, little Juana village out west.
Why wouldn't you count it?
Really is a decent place most days. Good trade, and plenty of money rolling in from Claudio's investors. Damn sight quieter than back home. But I don't have to tell you about the Deerwood. Ain't right doing business sober. I could fix that for you.
Do you know anyone looking to make some coin? I need someone who want to own a fight.
Folks come by here all the time hunting for work. Let's see.
So we can recruit adventurers. Interesting. Okay, so let's go behind.
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
I'd like to hire some members to come onto my ship.
Not much point to that without a ship. Come by when you've got work to offer and we'll figure something out.
He smiles apologetically. This is about the rooms.
We're full up. You aren't the first outsider to turn up looking for a place to stay after their ride off the island ended up at the bottom of the sea.
Probably 16 with the considering eye.
Well, tell you what. I've got one room ought to have been cleared out by now. Only the occupants decided to outstay his welcome. Real trouble is, he hasn't settled his bill.
And let me guess, you want me to settle it for you. No problem.
He's a merchant captain by the name of Galleon. I've given him a fair chance, but he's been a right prick about the whole thing. I've got a spare key here. You chase him and his pals off, and the room's yours. At a discount.
How about you pay me instead? I think I'll just get myself if you want to environment. I'll see what I can
I
do.
appreciate it, truly. I'll have someone tidy the place up for you once you're through. Chances are they've spilled ale just about everywhere. I don't want the man dead, and that's not what I'm paying for. Just see him on his way and we'll call it done.
Same. I don't want to kill him myself. Okay. I need max 2, 5, 6. I guess we can have 6 max party members.
You must.
Ooh, that music is rocking. Damn. Okay.
Party before venturing forth.
That's good music. Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Don't remember ordering more drinks.
Here we go, convince you to leave.
Thought I'd locked that thing.
The glassy-eyed gentleman before you bears a miserable expression of a recently sober, but he smells like he's been pickling in a cask for a few days. Continue.
Blazes. I was going to say you wandered into the wrong room, but by the look of things, it runs in the family.
Interesting. Continue.
Try not to slam the door on your way out, yeah? My head's going to pieces.
I'm here for the rent. You've got until Doran wants you out.
Does he now? And what are you supposed to do about it?
You can leave on your own feet or get dragged out by the ankles. Your choice. Galeon's finished rumbling, but something in your expression squelches his confidence in a hurry. He scratches his nervous at his beard.
All right. Just keep your boots on. We're leaving. Thorol wants us out on the streets so bad, so be it.
It's not that he wants you out on the street, my boy. It's the fact that you haven't paid your bill.
You serious, Galleon? Where are we supposed to go?
The Omaua are different from the Owen. Women glower at you for flying. Okay.
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
I cleared out that room.
Hey, good work. Times like these, I can't afford to keep on anyone who can't pay their tab. The second word got around, I'd have every pauper in the city on my doorstep. The room's yours if you want it. And for a job well done, here's your pay.
He sets a dimple at a point pouch on the counter. Thank you. Let's see if I can actually get stuck with it. How do I have to pay? So I do have to pay this. Alright, so I'll rest up, and then I'll head to Grochi Street to explore that. Head to the village, and head eastwards. Until then, guys, please.
Still kicking, eh? What'll it be?
Let me see the camera. Until then, guys, subscribe, comment, leave a like.